Welcome, boys. Hey,
Yeah.
welcome in here. In person for lasers. So, we all made it.
Excellent. Well, welcome to The Last Drop. This is a fantastic show where we're going to make up a fake business, build it from the ground up, tear it apart, rebuild it again, all before we finish our glasses. And we have a special guest today, Mr. Phil.
So much fun. We're just going to be clapping on the audios. Yeah. So good to be here.
Hey, we're excited, and we have special business in mind since you're here.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's ready to hear it?
I am ready to hear it.
Today's business that we're going to be building is a multi-location boutique music store for gear with an included lounge and bar.
Sick.
Oh,
Okay, that's cool.
that's fun.
In each of the locations, that's going to be called the Soundry.
Ooh, nice.
This is fun. That's very good.
All right, we've got a business idea, but we need something to drink. Dave, would you share what weekly bottle we have today?
Yeah, so we're drinking Kuleana Rum again. They are a Hawaiian-based rum company that specializes in actually taking sugar from the young sugarcane, not from the remnants, which I didn't know until I was speaking with the owner-founder, that most of the rum that we enjoy is mixed with other things that aren't as good, and they have a lot of additives. It is an additive-free, all natural, organic, sustainably farmed sugarcane from Hawaii, which I didn't know until I was talking to him. Sugarcane originated in the Hawaiian Islands. They imported it to the Caribbean. And so we all think Caribbean when we think sugarcane. It's actually from Hawaii. So you're drinking something that is nectar from the gods, my dear friends. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. All right. Well, we've got a business idea. We've got a beverage. It's time to build this thing down to the last drop. Let's go crazy. Hold on to your glass. Dave, where do we start?
All right, so let's talk about the logistical setup. So multi-location.
Yeah.
Are we talking about within a specific metro area, a state? Are we going national? How many locations are we thinking here, Jake?
Across how many states?
Let's peel back the curtain on the creation of the episode. The impetus was, how do we make Guitar Center better?
Love it.
All right. So I'm thinking one per major suburbanite metropolitan area.
So big.
Yeah.
Not just, okay, got it.
So we're talking like 50 locations.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay. Love that.
How many locations are we starting with?
Let's just start with the one.
Let's start with the one.
Right.
It's the visionary building. Okay.
The flagship location. It should be built with the intent to make more.
Right.
It's not going to be a one-off boutique kind of deal.
So I think the first thing that you do if you're going to start with the first one is location. Oh, yes. As a good friend of mine once told me, the house is fine, but you can't change the location where you build it.
Right.
You son of a bitch.
And I think that you want to me, naturally, you're going to want to be in a place where, like, music is a part of the culture of the city, and it's very expectation. So the ones that came to mind really, really rapidly without thinking too hard was, like, Nashville, Austin, New York, Chicago, L.A.
Right.
Anywhere else that you would, like, maybe Seattle would be on that list?
Yeah. I mean, I think those are good. That's a good starting place.
New Orleans.
New Orleans is nice.
Are we looking for large metro?
So
Flagship?
remember, it's a split model. We also want to sell gear, so we need musicians.
Totally. That's part of the thought there too. Is like, I think that to me, some of the things that would be interesting. New York's going to be tough on the cost of the real estate alone, where just the build out on that is insane. The rest is going to be exorbitant. You're going to have a high cost if you do Nashville and Austin as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Nashville's kind of hit this inflection point population-wise that it's not growing as rapidly as it did in the 2010s.
Right.
It's kind of slowed. Versus Austin continues to kind of explode. It's to me, that seems like a natural spot.
Yeah.
There's already a lot of musicians there. There's a lot of entertainment. people continue to invest in that area.
Right. And you've got other big metroplexes that are not too far away.
Correct.
Right.
Weird extra question. Are there any major music expos that happen in cities where musicians from around the country might be coming on a regular basis, experience the Soundry, and then take that concept like, why don't I have one here?
Right. That'd be a good question.
Nashville, LA, Austin all have qualifications for that. I think the interesting thing about if you did something in LA, depending on where it's at, because LA is huge, right? Like, I mean, they have like different cities and names, but it's also, you can also put like Los Angeles on a mailing address for somewhere in Santa Clarita, which is like an hour drive north of that, right? So there's a part of me that's like, if you do LA, then you actually have the ability, if you're close enough to the beach, perhaps you could make that an open air site, which would be really, really fun. If you do something like Nashville or Austin, the thing that's fun about that is you're going to get a boatload of space.
Yeah.
So you could make that thing like just a massive anchor store.
Yeah.
I think that with the venue/bar opportunity, having people that are able to come in and you always got a band playing,
Right.
like that's super fun. And I feel like that fits into any one of those three cities' ethos. Yeah, really, really well. Like all of them have musicians that are trying to make it, and you could have somebody that's just like, and you also have big festivals and stuff. They're into all those. I mean,
Southwest, Southwest, and
Austin City Limits. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
All right, so let's pick one just to base it on.
Phil,
Dude, let's go Austin.
let's do all.
We're doing Austin. Okay, so we're planning up in Austin. We decided to go there. There's musicians. We get a building of some kind.
Yep.
What's the next steps?
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
Which is going to be the cash machine? Are we emphasizing the retail or the bar, restaurant, venue?
So best part about this show, there's no wrong answer.
Right.
Dave and I have had on other episodes.
Sometimes we disagree on how we should do this.
Dude, I love that. Okay, so this is all fair game.
I'll throw mine out.
Right, what's yours?
I think your venue piece floats your boat and you make your money on equipment sales that happen because that's inventory. You can sit on it longer without stress because you have the venue kind of carrying the weight.
Yeah, right.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
I'm open to be wrong.
To me, it feels like when it goes out into the community, because it's a new concept, the hard part is you're going to have to be telling people it's a bar, essentially. It's a music venue, and we sell equipment.
Right.
So to me, it's like we're going to be the things that really draw people in. I think that if you make the bar/venue the pull,
Right.
then what ends up happening is people find out that you also sell equipment.
Totally.
And the people that go to a venue that are like, hey, I heard that there's great live music here.
Right.
They typically are at the very least interested in music, if not musicians themselves. I mean, Phil, I know you're a musician and have toured and done some pretty badass things.
Yeah.
Is it a draw for you to have like live music? I mean, we're going to go to a live show tonight, actually. Hilariously. But yeah, like, is it a draw for you to go to a venue with a live music thing?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would even say if the venue itself becomes the staple of the community, people will go there for the music first, and it happens to be a bar, and et cetera. So while I would say the venue piece is a lot of work, business wise, there's a lot of work to keep those lights on and keep it going.
Totally.
It would be an interesting first foot forward.
The nice thing is you're going to know all the musicians in the community because they're going to come buy equipment from you.
Right.
So you'll constantly keep a stock, even if it's maybe a low-grade talent on a Tuesday,
Right.
someone's playing.
Right.
And maybe that, I know that this is getting ahead of ourselves on the marketing side. We usually cover that later.
Sure.
But I think there's a way too that for some of those musicians, they're looking for exposure. They're looking for just an opportunity to go play.
Right.
And maybe if they come play for an hour, you give them a 10%, 20% discount on their next purchase at the store.
Yeah.
So then you're actually you're bringing somebody in, you're giving them an opportunity to play on a Tuesday at lunch where there's like no one there. You know what I mean? Like it's just empty, but they're putting in the reps. That's it, man. And they're gonna play something that is good enough.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gonna be acoustic set or whatever. But then, dude, I got a 20% off coupon for up to $500 purchase. You know, that's kind of fun.
Well, I was thinking again when we're leaning into the marketing here, and I do want to come back and figure out, because it's not just steak, but because what if while an act is on the stage, all the equipment they use is 15% off in the store?
Ooh, that's fun.
That's very fun.
So it's like, hey, you like his sound? That pedal, that
Right.
is what's made dangerous.
Whatever.
It's 15% off while you're here. You could order it with your food. We'll bring it to you in a bag.
That's cool.
Right. When you leave. Right.
That makes it fun too, because then you go see people and you're like, God, I hope they got a sweet cake. You know? So like just like bang it like look
with like the
for so long.
Gee, that's crazy.
That's like roulette. Okay, so on the logistical side, one of the hard things about the startup cost is the equipment's not cheap. The good news is banks will fund that pretty heavily because it's collateral. The second thing is, it's a bar. Is it a restaurant, you think?
Or is it just a bar?
I'm open to
Like light food?
my favorite performance events in small venues is when I have a table and I can order at least some form of food and drinks.
Yeah.
And there's like a modicum of privacy. It's not theatrical seating.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite venues.
Yes.
I think that, so I went to a venue outside of DC that had like this split space, and I actually got to see the Civil Wars live. But there's a venue. Huh?
That's great.
Yeah, we do.
That's it.
So it was really fun because it was like there were 8 people. It was before Civil Wars had blown up. They blew up like 6 months later because they had that song on Grey's Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
They were the opener for this act. So the way that it worked was they had just like open seating up at the front, but then in the back was a coffee shop bar area.
Mm-hmm.
And so they played, they got off the stage, they went and had a drink. We got to go have a drink with them. So it was pretty fun. And so like there's something to having that split as well. And like the bar area was a little bit different. So I almost wondered for me, if I was doing it, I'd be like, how can you set up like a venue style seating? Maybe it's around cocktail tables or something.
Right.
So that you're like, dude, I'm really here for the music. Yeah. But then there's also booth space that's further back that maybe it's not as loud.
So do like 75 seats up front. You're going to have like a step up, and then you have more tabletop.
Right. Like traditional restaurant style, or maybe even seating around the bar as well. And like, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
How would you do it?
No, I like that. I think, so when you said 75, in terms of seat, is it seating or is it standing? Is it just kind of open?
Oh, I'd have seating probably at board. Yeah, I think so. Because I think that, the thing with the venue is the way that you help the artists, like the big name artists that come in and they're on a Friday night and they're LA and you're going to pay them. Right. You're going to sell tickets. You may sell them for like $10-15 a piece. Maybe you split it with the artist. You give them the lion's share. That could be that's another marketing move that you could do as well. Like, hey, we're getting back to the artist community by giving them opportunities and paying them well. But then if you're outside of that near seating area, right, you're just making money off food and drink.
Yeah.
And I think about, with the restaurant style, restaurants struggle on the profit side typically due to the food concerns and the food issues and the challenges with wait staff. And like, there's so many times you're comping something.
Right.
You're going to comp something on multiple tables every night.
Yeah.
But the place where you can make just a boatload of cash is on liquor sales.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that you do some like cool local beers. You try and find some local wines. And then if you have some headliners coming in that are really awesome, like again, we're in Austin, you get somebody that's really great, that like Ed Sheeran and Noah Kahan did this pop-up at a bar that happened instantly in Nashville, and like they closed the doors, so it was like 100 people in the bar, and they're like sitting like this,
yeah,
and they're just playing acoustic style and singing together, and they're just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that we're here for this. This is happening. This is happening IRL." And they were so excited to be there together because they're like, "We don't get to play intimate things like this anymore."
Right.
And they weren't getting paid for it. They were just like, "This is the best."
Yeah.
You know, so they're sitting there drinking beers and like interacting with the audience, like having so much freaking fun.
Right.
Because when you're a superstar like that, you don't get to do the cool gigs like that anymore. There's something about that. But I think that you could do something where if you have somebody like that, you can go get a special liquor, a special wine, a special beer from their hometown, from their region, and it's for that event. And then you could even make that like a, hey guys, we've got this one thing. It's a little bit more spendy, or it's Ed's. If it was Ed Sheeran, right? You'd be like, this is his favorite cocktail.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be fun too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. No, so you have your 70, 75 seating on the front. You have your cocktail style tables in the back, some booths, and I agree. I like the idea of mostly liquor with some light foods, so you're not like full on restaurant, full on staff. It's all right, bartender with some eats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can do. I feel like that too. Like if you keep the menu really simple,
Right.
and you have like 15 to 20 items, you're like, dude, it's finger food.
Right.
It's really good. We've also got some like big shareables, like, and you could do
Absolutely.
you can do a really high end bar food that isn't really that nice, and it's not that hard to make, but it actually compares into bar food. You're like, these nachos are pretty great.
I think Tyrell does that well.
I agree.
Oh, nice, right?
It's become a golf level food.
Yeah.
Just an edge past Chili's.
Yeah.
You know, right? Totally.
I think you can even kick it up a notch, like the perception too. If you do something, you're like, hey guys, we had elk nachos. Oh yeah, or you do venison, tacos, or or nachos, or something. Like you kind of play with like some different things that are exotic, quote unquote, but like it's just making a bison burger. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really fun.
Cool. Let's shift over. Look at the gear side.
Yeah. So
You're a musician. I'm sure you own plenty of gear.
Plenty of gear.
What is the most hated part of walking into a Guitar Center?
Oh my gosh, it's so loud. Okay. For me, honestly, is that all of the gear is new. If I'm gonna look for
Shocking response. I was not ready.
right, totally. So, electronics, guitar pedals, all those things for sure. Let them be new. Like guitars themselves, great. I don't buy new guitars because they're not aged. They haven't, they're not worn. There's just something about a 10-year-old guitar, a 15-year-old guitar. Like it doesn't have to be 40 years old, but there's something there. So I would say, if I'm walking into a Guitar Center and I'm going to check out the guitars, I'm curious. I'm shopping around. Like, what are these like? What is it like to play this style, this brand? Or Fender just came out with a new whatever. Most likely, I will, if they have any kind of a used gear section, I will meander towards that to see some high end, used music gear.
Did you expect that answer?
No, it's super intriguing though.
Because of the way you said it, I was like, if you go to a music store, what do you do? But like specifically with Guitar Center, they have such a high volume of gear.
Everything's in shrink.
Right.
Okay, so although I am not a musician, have spent quite a lot of time in Guitar Center personally because of AB stuff.
Right.
My daughter also is learning how to play guitar and sings and all that kind of stuff. The thing that drives me nuts, as just a person who loves a good vibe,
Right.
it's white walls.
Right.
It's lights. It's ceiling tiles. And he's like,
Gross. So bright.
yeah.
So sterile.
And it's like, dude, every single person that comes in is like super artistic,
Right.
very dynamic.
And it feels really weird.
Yeah,
It's like everyone's like squinting when they come in.
yeah, it's fluorescent lighting. Like there's no warm lighting at all. Like so, to me, I would fundamentally change how you do that. I would make it like a nice, rich, dark color,
Right.
throughout the light you and the
High ceilings. No, they call it 12 feet, not like 30 feet.
right.
Now, where it's like, oh yeah, this like feels moody. Let the lights come down a little bit. Put some sound panels on the walls. I mean, just like make it feel more moody.
And I also think that you could do things like have a set like soundproof booths.
Which Guitar Center does. They have those. They do. In like, there's the acoustic area in the back that's like kind of set apart. But I agree with you. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want
nobody is.
I don't want anybody playing a guitar just out
In the middle.
or like testing the drum kit out there either.
Great.
I'm like, dude, let's
Make it classy.
let's make it classy, San Diego. I also think, one of the things that I wish, one of the things that I love, we got to do this for your birthday,
Yeah.
is going shopping for vinyl.
Right. Oh,
And
so good example. Great example.
I think that if you bring that in and you create that as part of the culture as well in that space, that it's not just to me,
This is the whole scene.
the Soundry is a
This is it.
celebration
Right.
of the art of music,
Right.
the craft of it. And so, like, the more that you can embody that craft, the more that you can bring in the characters from that. Like, I think about having Rick Rubin's book on the shelves and like pulling in these ideas and concepts that are bigger than just a music sheet. It's like, man, no, let's bring in the culture that is so foundational. It's why people don't love music just because of the way it sounds. It's the way that they feel.
The history. Like,
Yeah, man. And so I think the more that you just embody that culture of musicians that's really progressive and forward thinking as well,
Yeah.
I think that you capture the imagination of people in a way that is so visceral. I think Guitar Center wouldn't stand a chance, right?
No, and I wonder if, so in the same way that we have El Nachos, or venison nachos, the menu is pretty, like there are only 10 items or whatever.
Yep.
I wonder if, the other issue with Guitar Center, again, this works for the business model, but it's like they have really cheap stuff that's really not very good. And they have really expensive stuff. So they get that's why the place is big. They have everything there, which has its own appeal, which is pretty cool. But if you were more selective with your inventory in the building, and this goes into another, another lane, but like you also have an e-commerce piece so that you really you're not stuck to local, but it's like you can sell online and somebody could order it online, pick it up at the store, they could play it at the store before they bought it or whatever. There's there's kind of a bridge between what you can accomplish with high volume and what you can kind of protecting the culture of they only have either like the really nice gear, or even if it's the less expensive, they're very selective about that. And for the locals, like we've got to have a used.
What would you do with for the local you said what would you do with that store side for the equipment? Like, what does that look like in your mind?
So I keep coming back to the sound booths.
Yeah.
How you to like test the instrument out. What if we took it a step further? In the sound booth, there's a panel, it's locked, but you can pay or something. We'll unlock it, and it's a little mini recording studio that just kind of flips down.
Dude, that's cool. Yeah, well, all of a sudden it becomes
But now you're allowed to use anything in the store.
Right.
We have 35 different microphones. We have 35 different guitars, even the old ones.
Thank you.
You can go in and record. You just pick it up,
Right.
take it
That's
there,
cool. I like that.
and it's like you can just play and test it out and find a sound that you're looking for. You want this pedal? Great. Take it in there. We flag it or whatever. It's kind of almost like a sound library.
Right. No, that's what I was thinking of. It's like when in the actual library in a town that we lived at one point, it's like they built a new library. It was a big deal. And it wasn't just a library. It had like the 3D printing area. It had like the podcast studio area, and it had all of these cool amenities where it brought the community together. So is it simply so that you can test things out, or is it legitimately like, here's your local studio, you can rent studio time and stuff?
I mean, you could have a formal studio,
Right.
but I'm thinking like one person in a booth. I want to go and play my acoustic and sing the song that I wrote.
Right. Are they doing that to keep the recording and leave, or are they?
You pay whatever you record in the booth during your hour of rental.
Right.
That's yours.
That's great. That's so great. So it's both. It's two-pronged, where it's like, I'm trying out this equipment,
Right.
and I'm getting to record this demo for this thing.
Well, I'm also thinking like from a marketing perspective, the starving artist, right? And they're coming in, and man, there's this guitar, or there's this, bongo, whatever it is, I don't know, that they want, and they're just like, I don't know if it's on the plate.
Right.
If you buy over a certain dollar amount, you get a meal ticket to go have lunch at a bar.
Yep. Dude, that's fun.
Right?
Right. That's very cool.
It's like our cost on that's ridiculously low.
Oh, right, totally. It's good cost us.
We don't have starving artists at a Soundry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good tag. That's a good tag. I think that there's also the thing too where like I think about not just you, Phil, but like other friends that I have that are musicians,
Right.
and I have some friends that are like that is their chosen profession. We're gonna do some freelance marketing and things outside of that to pay the bills. Their main thing is their main gig is like they're playing 4 or 5 nights a week in DC. Like they would go hang out at that bar because they want to be in the culture. They want to be with those people. That's their peeps.
Right.
And
They want to hear their friends play, and
heck yeah, man. And so like you would have like this string of regulars.
Right.
They would just be like, even when they're not buying something, they're sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
Right. They're gonna have a drink or two. They're gonna hang out.
Right.
If it's a slow time or there's no one playing right then, there may be a game on with no sound or something. They can watch the game. They can hear whatever. Right. Like there starts to create a community around that location.
Yeah.
That people are like, maybe I'm gonna go hang out somewhere. I want to go south.
Well, and that's the multi-location play, right? Build that in one spot. They come in out of town. They go there once and holy crap, it's so cool.
Right.
I wish I had one in LA.
Right.
Yeah. And then as soon as you have that demand, the cost is negligible. You're going to recoup it so fast.
I also think it's one of those things too where like when you buy, I mean, I'm curious what your experience is as being a musician, Bill. I feel like when you buy some new equipment, it's not a cheap investment.
Right.
That's like a big one. And you're going to have a long tail on purchasing your next item. Or even if you're like doing really well in life, even if you're the top 1% of income earners, you're still going to be like, do I need another pedal? Probably not. And pedals are pretty cheap, relatively speaking, in comparison to everything else. But I feel like if you have that other hook of like, dude, we got food, we've got drinks, we've got a recording spot, we've got live music every night or every day even, it's like, okay, now I'm in on something cool.
Yeah. Okay. The one thing I would say about that, is I would agree with that when it comes to like kind of core instruments. Like, I'm not gonna have 30 guitars. I might have 3 or 4 or 5, which could be a lot. I might just have one. But dude, I will go through pedals. I will buy the next, like whatever the next pedal is. We're always buying it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So like this. So if you had a place where you were like, and how much do pedals on
Anywhere from like 100 to 400 bucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. That's so I'm assuming the margin on that for the retail location is about 50%. I would assume. That's
That's a good question.
I would assume. I don't know. But yeah, it's most retail that's right. It's usually that much.
I bet this is totally just like making it up. I bet you'd have like 40% margin.
Okay.
So 40%. Call it 40.
So
What do you on a good day?
if you come in, how often would you buy a pedal if you were playing on a regular basis? Once a month?
Yeah, once every couple months.
Once every couple months. But so that's interesting to me as well. It almost feels like the model, and I think that there's precedent for this, and I kind of want to tie this back together. It's like when Barnes & Noble put Starbucks in almost every location, if not every location. It was like, great, come here, you can get coffee, because you wanted it anyway. And you can read a book.
Right.
And their whole thought is, I mean, when I was really poor, we would just go to Barnes and Noble and read books while we drinking coffee. And then, like, we would read a book in a day right at Barnes and Noble. And then you're like, deuces, you know, like,
I got my coffee.
yeah. So I think that that drives some engagement,
Yeah.
obviously, in the store as well. And it offers up opportunities for
It would be awesome. You know, even as I'm thinking, like, I'm not to be hung up on this, but the profit margin is not awesome. I'll use a gear overall. And so you got to just keep it going and sell a lot of it, which is why the e-commerce piece sounds interesting to you. Yeah, so it has a piece of that.
Especially if you have used equipment or older equipment.
Right.
You put that up on the website. Now somebody in LA can set inventory at Nashville. And oh my gosh, that's the thing I've been looking for. Right.
Totally.
That's really cool.
Okay, one last question on the retail side before we move on.
Yeah.
You don't get to choose that.
I dare you stop me before he is ready to move on. So, whenever we think about this, if we're trying to create the culture around music,
Right.
we've talked about
Music creation, really.
right, but there's also if we sell vinyls, do we also sell speaker systems to
Right.
play those vinyls on?
Yeah.
Do we also sell installation services to help you set up a kick-ass
Like
Is that-
in home.
in-home?
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, is that a thing that you extend, or is that add too much complexity to a fairly complex model?
Okay, so I think it depends. If we're keeping with the Guitar Center model, where it's like it's not just instruments, it's also AV, it's also all of the kind of that other technical side of music, then I think you absolutely would.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, absolutely have that.
And you could just easily get some kind of subcontractor
Right.
that does them on demand as they get ordered.
It's in them. It's
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm just geeking out about the opportunities in the marketing side where you have the venue and you have the equipment.
right. Yep.
Like, what's more interesting? I get a newsletter in my inbox that says, hey, 10% off coupon, buy something.
Right.
Or, hey, this month we're doing the open mic battle. The winner gets this pedal.
Right. Oh, that's fun. That's weird.
And you can only win like once a quarter or something,
Yeah, right.
you know? And so now it's like, oh, dude, I have a shot.
Totally.
I could go win that pedal.
Yeah.
You know? So you have
Works out for everyone.
a bigger engagement because now they're going to come and they're like, I need you to come and cheer for me and vote for me. So now you're packing out the venue.
Right.
I also think that you could do stuff to Phil's point about the e-com side. You could give people special discounts if they buy a ticket for specific nights as well to be used online only.
right.
So then you can also promote. So like that model of that integrated marketing element to me is just so freaking fascinating.
Yeah.
Because like the possibilities are endless. And you were talking about giving a discount on any of the equipment that they're using. Yeah, the way that I automatically thought of that was you just have a QR code that's set up on every table.
Yeah.
You change where it's directed.
Yeah.
And then the discounts are automatically applied.
Right.
It would be so insanely fun to be like, oh, you can scan it, purchase it on your phone, we'll add it to your tab, and that's below.
That's pretty fun.
And then,
that's super
and then you could just grab it on your way out.
Right.
Right. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine?
Or check it out. Instead of grabbing it on your way out, like you ordered your new guitar and the wait staff brings it over to your table. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that guy just like, look what he just.
It's the lightsabers at Disney. That guy has lights. I want a lightsaber.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. Look, that girl just got that new drum set. Like they dropped the whole thing over to her table.
And you could even do a night where it's like a buy night where everything's 25% off.
Yep.
And it's a massive jam session in the event space where everybody's just playing. Maybe one guy up on stage on like drums and maybe a guitarist. They're like leading the group, but it's like everybody in the audience can play. Like that would be sick.
That would be sick.
So that'd be a mess. Speaking of marketing sales,
That's okay.
Oh, it's a blast. It's like, you know what you're in. When you go to that night, you know what you're in.
You know what you're in for.
like, so
So great.
speaking of marketing and sales, couple things. One thing was a few weeks ago, I went to Portland with a buddy that I can't wait to introduce you guys to, Trevor. And we went to the singer-songwriter soiree.
Oh, right. You told me about this.
And so what it was a bunch of people that totally different age levels, totally bold, like they go play one song. The rules are, has to be under 5 minutes, has to be a song that you have written. You cannot play covers.
Love it.
Oh, God. So what? So dude, so here's the thing that's crazy. They've been doing this for a while. The guy that started it was like he was on tour, a touring musician.
Right.
And he's built this thing up since like just before COVID hit. And then past that, this thing is packed out with 300 people. They do donations to show up.
Cool.
They recommend $15. And then you sit there and you get to listen to music. And like some of the people, you could tell, are just getting started in their journey. Where they quit like I was shocked, and this was really cool to me. There were a lot of people that were in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. They were like, I haven't played in 25 years. They said, I'm like, I want to get back in. And they're like playing a song. And then you also had some gems that I was like, I mean, holy crap. Like literally there were two people, one in particular, that Trevor and I were just like, oh, we're going to hear her on the radio in 6 months. They're like, she's massively talented. And so it was like a fun experience. They're all playing different instruments, different song types. And that was pretty sick. But the other thing I thought of was, I think that would be fun to do, number one. But number two, like flash mobs.
Oh, yeah.
Those disappeared.
Yeah.
You know how much fun it would be to like have like just a pop-up like they do with Jimmy Fallon when he does the pop-up like busking in the subway with like a very famous musician.
Yes.
It's so fun. And then it's like, dude, come to the Soundry. We're playing tonight or whatever. Like you could do fun stuff with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Was it open air? What was the venue like?
It was a big open warehouse. And they brought in, like they had, it's a maker space is where they have it.
Cool.
And so they had like, you know, couches that they found on the street, I'm sure, and like cleaned up a little bit. And then they had chairs and then they laid out, like pads on the floor. Yep. It was like a cuddle puddle space with like sheets on it and stuff. Perfect. So people were like laying down and like listening and just like letting the music wash over them. And then everybody brought like drinks to share.
Sweet.
And so like it was the same sort of super communal. And then the ideal was, and I think that they set this up super well, is it's all supportive. So they have people that got up and got scared, and we're just like, oh, I'm really nervous. I don't like singing that group in so long in front of people. And so then their line is that the crowd, everybody knew, and that was my first time, was we support you. And so they would like shout that to them in moments where it was like very vulnerable, but it's beautiful, man. It was so good. So good.
One thing that Guitar Center has, I'm curious your take, yes, if this is two parts, A, wise business model, and B, desirable or should be at the Soundry, is lessons.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think it's a good move.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. Because it's, again, two reasons. One, you're bringing in new people who, this is like, how do I do this? I'd love to learn this instrument. I want to buy this instrument over here. What do I do now? Oh, cool. We have lessons. Like, oh my gosh, sweet. Like you have the whole thing. And musicians, man, like it's a hard gig. So being able to teach lessons is a very amazing way to compensate and to be a part of your financial puzzle. So I think it's twofold. It really helps the up and coming musicians, and it helps subsidize, a piece of the community as well.
I also think there's an element there too where you're a lot of times, this has been my experience at least with training young musicians, and I mean young like just in their playing life. Typically the people that do that are really good musicians on their own in their own right.
Right.
And they want opportunities to perform themselves, and this is their way to be really connected to their passion.
Yeah.
So you also have a built-in community of people that are getting paid.
Yep.
And then they're going to probably be a foundational element of the community of Soundry.
Right.
Well, I was also thinking like you can get paid or you can take a 15% bonus and store credit.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, I think that there's an element too where like the more that you can invest in that community of musicians, the more that you build that is like the Soundry isn't just a place. I think that this is the difference between Guitar Center and a local shop.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can start to have a business that's multiple locations that still functions like it's a local shop,
Yep.
everything changes.
Everything changes.
Because then if you're like, no, dude, we're tied into the musical community here in Austin. We're tied into, and as you grow out, this really becomes even more fascinating to me.
Right.
Then what ends up happening is people are like, they're different than Guitar Center in every way possible. And a big one is they actually invest back into musicians. They give us opportunities to go practice or play. They give us opportunities to go teach. They give us opportunities to make a name for ourselves. We can do, especially as you add more locations, you could do the Soundry tour.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how fun would that be to be like, dude, we got 50 cities, and you go find bands that are like the Civil Wars when I saw them in that small venue. Right? It's like, dude, I can tell you're so freaking talented.
Yeah.
And if you just get a little tiny bit of a break,
Right.
this could be so freaking cool.
So what? This is a wild idea.
No,
We're talking about things. We're talking about things that are completely unscalable. Okay. We were talking about Costco chicken earlier,
Right.
and how they lost, what was it?
21.5 million.
21.5 million on Costco. Just down here rotisserie chickens.
Because they cost more than what they charge. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Got to bring people in,
Totally.
and they buy other stuff, right?
Right. Of course they do.
What if your restaurant offered a meal called No Starving Artists?
There you go.
And it's like that's a cheeseburger or a chicken tank, or like, you know, ravioli or chicken tikka, something real cheap to produce. Yeah, but it's a good solid meal, and you sell it for like $5. So,
Yeah, that's good.
and it's like, yeah, you're totally taking a loss there, right?
But that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
You have to play on the stage for 15 minutes, though.
Right, that's your market. Great, sweet. Yeah, they'll play for food.
Man, that's super cool. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's super fun. Okay, what else on the marketing advertising side? I know that we're getting close to the final bits here. Getting close.
It's looking scary.
Anything else that you would do, Phil, when you think about community engagement in Austin, trying to develop that next generation of talent, trying to bring in even like really big names that we know are touring there in Austin? Because I think I've talked a lot about the community. I don't know, we've talked a whole lot about the big names now that I think about it. Are there ways that we can engage people that are well known to get to come into a venue that is super small that would be like unique?
I think so, because what you do is you piggyback off of the bigger festivals that are happening in Austin, and you do it through relationship. So it's like, hey, where I lived in Oklahoma, there's a venue in Northern called the Opolis, and it was on the I-35 corridor down to Austin. So we had a lot of big names coming through the Opolis, which was amazing for us local musicians. We're like, oh my gosh, we get to see all of these people. And it was because the owners knew the bands.
Mm-hmm.
And so as long as the owners of the venue are connected to a greater community, then it's like, oh my gosh, like my friends are coming to play South by Southwest. It's going to be really great. Like after party. You know what I mean?
Great.
So it's like it's piggybacking off of the bigger stuff that works in those bigger metros.
Thought on multi-location.
Uh-huh.
What if you don't make your venue piece feel the same in every place?
Right.
Then if your venue has its own, and maybe you could even parrot famous venues.
What do you mean?
So, like,
Can you use it this sentence?
venue, venue.
Right. Got you.
No, like so I know you're not a Beatles fan, but I grew up with Beatles. Well, and I went to Beatle Fest
in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I went to the Cavern, which is where they got famous.
What if one of your venues was kind of themed after the Cavern? Or maybe you got another one that's like themed after another popular small venue that someone else got famous at.
I would say as long as it doesn't feel too campy, let's say in there, or right?
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. I think that would be like you just want to make that done really well. Where it's like a hint of maybe instead of like, it's Star Wars world or whatever. Like,
Right. But like if you made one that was like subtly felt like maybe you were in a subway station. Right. It's like, oh, I played the Soundry subway.
yeah, right.
I can't wait to play the Soundry.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
super cool. So it has themes, but it's like, it's subtle.
It gives each location kind of their own.
And it could feel it's mirrored from the community. So in Austin, it would look like this. In Chicago, it would
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that you can find too with every community, especially as this goes like bigger than the 50 big cities.
Right.
Like you start doing cities that are not huge, but like are still a metro area, like Des Moines, Iowa.
Right.
Yeah, it's got like 350, 400,000 people in it. It's not big, but it's not nothing.
Right.
And if you start to reflect something of their culture, or you bring something that's, you could do the flip of this too, where it's like, let's bring something that's exotic to that area, where you actually go the opposite direction and you go,
And it becomes the attraction.
right.
I feel like Hard Rock Cafe did that well.
Totally.
They did. I also felt like Hard Rock Cafe went a little bit kitschy at times.
For sure.
1,000%. Yes, absolutely. But they brought, this is not here.
Right. It was like totally. This is super exciting. This is Nashville. This is just wherever. Like,
Right.
but it's
I feel like after you set up that first flagship like location and really make that like the anchor, you get to experiment with all these cool ideas because you take the learnings from that location to the next one.
for sure.
And whether that's Nashville, LA, New York, Chicago, Seattle, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I feel like the idea becomes, wow, this place is really unique. I also think that one of the things that I learned from my friend Janice, because she had physical location stores, but she was like, you have to make the location Instagrammable.
Yeah.
Which is such a genius. Like, I know that sounds so simple. It's hard to execute.
It is.
It's challenging to think through. Like, it's not, you have to create slices of your venue that are going to be vertical shots,
Right.
for square shots that are going to be good, that people are going to tap.
So what if every single Soundry, because remember we were talking about the micro recording tool where you can use anything in the store?
Yeah.
What if you have like a mini museum with like 5 or 6 guitars? There's this that they're like, this was, slashes, and they're totally checkoutable when you do your little session.
No, that's fun. That's aggressive. That would be cool. Yeah.
It's totally a marketing investment, but
Right.
I mean, I get the like people would travel to other Soundries to be like, I'm
Last ace of gear is at this side.
Yeah.
Over here. Cool.
We just created a business that I want to go hang out at. Okay, I feel like it's just it's maybe one of the coolest places. It's one of the coolest businesses we've done on Last Drop today, in my opinion, because it's like, well, it's so fun. Like it is. I think there's
So tied to culture.
there are so few. There's so many bars and restaurants that feel very similar to other bars and restaurants.
Yes.
That have the same themes, the same ideas, that got the same playbook. And anytime that you can create a hybrid model of something that really brings about the culture that you're trying to reach, instead of trying to just be like, how can we placate an experience that feels like every other Mexican restaurant?
Right.
And it's like, this has something that's cool. There's like, and I think that's a part and a factor to music in general. It's like how there's a cool factor to hanging out with musicians. You're like, you go to a venue, you're like, oh, that's the band,
Right.
even if you don't know it.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to force you guys to finish.
Okay,
As I do, I have one question specifically for you.
We got it, Jake.
after hearing us create the Soundry,
Yeah.
I want you to punch a hole in it. Why would someone still choose Guitar Center? And is that okay to remain as a differentiator?
Right. Okay. I think it is okay that somebody still goes to Guitar Center because we don't want to have all of the gear at the Soundry. We want to have the best high quality. We want the vibe over over the
Variability.
right. Totally. We can get it. You can get it through the e-commerce store, no problem. But like when you go in, we want the vibe.
I agree. I think that when I think about people that want to go to Guitar Center, it's like, dude, there's still a lot of people that shop in department stores.
Right.
I don't,
Right.
but a lot of people do. It's convenient.
So convenient.
It's super convenient. They've got everything there. You can go try stuff on. Like at Guitar Center, you can go try 100 guitars, or it still wouldn't get through all of their inventory a day. And so I'm like, I like the boutique feel. I like that that vibe of people are like, they don't have everything here on site. They've got a lot of stuff on the website, but I know that whatever they have on site,
Right.
dude, it's
I'm going to play it.
super high quality. It's going to be fun. It's not something that's cheap. We're going to be playing with some cool stuff. This is going to be a great vibe. I want to hang. Do you feel the same way, or do you see that differently?
I think having the venue attached to the store, the commerce portion of it
Right.
is huge, because the biggest, most difficult part of brick and mortar is getting people in the door. So if I have another reason for you to come in the door and you're like, oh,
Totally.
I need more guitar picks. Right. You know, like, oh crap. I broke an XLR cable.
Right.
Like, I'm going to get lunch and an XLR cable. Oh, wait, actually, maybe I kind of want this pedal here. That might be pretty bad too. You know? And I can also order all of that while I'm getting my lunch.
I think that's
And it's taken right to my thing. Like, there's something magical about that fusion that's going to also enable the community to build around it, but also allow your commerce, your brick and mortar commerce, to succeed
right.
in an environment where brick and mortars are struggling right now.
Right.
And I also think that you can, one of the things that's really neat too is because you don't get to have, you're having this retail only experience at Guitar Center, and that's fun.
Right.
There's something that's really interesting opportunity wise to be like, the way that, like they have the checkbooks that come out for your restaurant order, they're naturally rectangular. What if you had them designed as keyboards?
Totally.
What if you change them up in how, like, what shape they come in? So one comes as a pick style.
What if you print along the edge of the receipt a piece of music on sheet music?
Oh, that's fun. I keep trying to figure out what song it is. You're so fun.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, I think this is fantastic. It's a great business model. If you want to steal it, feel free to steal it.
Go for it.
We have a business. The beverage, though, we need to talk about it. What'd you think? Did you enjoy it?
What you think of the rub, man?
Really liked it.
Isn't it good?
Really smooth. Dude, very nice. Yes.
I think compared to a lot of rums, it trades out bite for sweets.
Yeah.
And I liked that. I would agree with that. I actually enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, 2 thumbs way up.
It's so easy to drink. The white route you can like kind of throw into mixed drinks. I think that, the one that you were drinking, Phil, like that one, when I was talking with the owner, he was just like, dude, we call this our sipping rum.
Oh, for sure.
And the cool part is while they take all the stuff, all the sugarcane is harvested in Hawaii. They distill it in the States. They bottle it in the States. You can actually buy it online and have it shipped to your house. I think there's only like 3 or 4 states where you can't get it shipped to you. And so it's available for anyone. It's really fun. The owners are great. Their mission's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I had it neat, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, it's good.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for tuning this episode of The Last Drop. I'm, of course, Dave here with wonderful, beautiful Phil. Thank you so much for being here. And, of course, as always, Dave.
I think that you called yourself Dave, but
You did code.
Did I call myself Dave?
Yeah, I was yourself, Dave.
I did. Fucking last with this delicious rum.
But here's the deal: like you were kind of on the spot. You had to say 3 names in a row. Yeah, now it's like it's kind of a lot to say.
It's tough to host.
dude, it's tough to host.
It is tough to host. But you know what? I've been called worse things than Dave in my life.
Yeah. Yep. His name's Jake, by the way.
Yeah. I'm Jake.
that's not Jake.
So if you like this show and you want to see other great shows on Vox and Coin, please check us out wherever you like to listen to podcasts or on YouTube on the Vox and Coin Network. We would love to have you follow, like, subscribe, share, whatever, or go steal this business like we said.
Please.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a guy, so
5% royalties are not included.
absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.